Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Kay Monet. Welcome to another episode of my healing journey. Before we get started, I want to say thank you so much for sticking with me. I know it's been a while since my last video, but healing is hard, especially when you have to do it out loud. When God says, tell everybody what you did, how you did it, when you did it, snitch on yourself, it's not that easy because you be trying to hide stuff and try to tuck it away. And God was like, no, we don't tuck stuff away. Testimonies change lives. And I was like, but does it have to be mine? Can you Sharika down the street? And he's like, no, you. So God's like, no, I want you to write a book. So I wrote it and he's like, now sell the book. You're the only person that knows about this book. And bruh, you didn't say that at first. You said, write the book. I did that. Now you adding on extra stuff. That's not fair. And he was just like, and I was like, you're right. I don't want the smoke. So everybody, this is the book. It's called Same Dude, Different Day. It's available on Amazon. It's also available on imkmonet.com. But I am giving you a little bit more details in here. So the book is kind of like a surface level. You do need that to kind of understand where I'm going. But I get a little bit deeper in each video because I'm healing. It's also tough being in that middle of this is the old me, this is the new me, striving to be better, that part of stuff. But it is what it is. Let's move forward. Today is part 3 of my healing journey. If you have not already watched part 1 and part 2, go on ahead and go back. Actually, just only go back to part 1 because I have something to say to y'all about part 2. So the reason why it has taken me so long between part 2 to now to record again is because I realized that as I'm healing, there's still a lot of residue. And there's still a lot of stuff that I'm just not comfortable with. And I didn't know this. I thought that I was good. When dudes come at me with some BS, I cut it off before instead of being like, well, let me see. Maybe this might be a fun adventure that I could do today. Now I'm like, no, I'm good. I thought that because I don't act the way that I used to act anymore, that I had let everything go and that I was healed. No. I watched that part 2 and I'm like, well, you're mad. You're still mad. You're angry. At one point, I got real hot. I just felt the anger running up my body. My fist was balling up by itself. I just really felt uncomfortable. And then to watch it back and see how sarcastic I was and snarky and I was like, oh, there's still something in there. We gotta scrape that out. So if anybody is on your healing journey with me, I want to apologize to you because that is not the way that you're supposed to handle it. We have to get everything out in the open and actually dig and work at it. And I realized that I had let some stuff lie dormant a long time. And that's why I had that reaction when I was recording. I didn't realize it was that bad until I went back and was like, you got to handle that. So before we get into the shenanigans of part 3, I really want to talk to you guys about forgiveness. Now, wait a minute. I know that's the F word. I get it. Please don't leave. Just give me a little bit of time. Just stay with me for a little bit. Forgiveness. I know it's a bad word. I know it sucks. I know you be like, why I gotta forgive them when they the one that had me messed up? I get it. But what I really want to say is forgiveness is kind of a big step in healing. If you don't forgive, then you're never going to get that full healing. So think of it this way. Forgiveness is kind of like the ugly twin sister. Or it's kind of when you got a dude or whatever, and he like a 6, but he's sweet. And you don't got to worry about him cheating. You ain't got to worry about him being all extra. You ain't got to worry about having to pay for nothing. You ain't got to worry about him stealing from you. You ain't got to worry about doing none of that stuff. You just know he's going to be a good dude, but you just be like, he's a 6 or, he's a 2. I don't know. But you be happy. That's how forgiveness is. You don't really want to do it, but when you get to that side, you feel like it's nice over here. It's quiet. Ain't nobody messing nothing up over here. It's actually, I'm good. Because let me tell you something. The person that hurt you is not thinking about you. They're living their best life. Have you ever seen that? Have you ever just been so sad and you're just thinking why did they do this to me? I can't believe they did this. And you get on social media and this person is on a yacht or they married or they doing something and you just you don't deserve any of this because you sucked. You treated me so bad. How are you living your best life? Because they're not bogged down by unforgiveness. They don't think they did nothing wrong. Now, life does always get its get back. I will say that. So they're not going to be that happy for long. But the reason why we are miserable is because we're thinking about it and we're dwelling on it and we just need to let it go. So I don't know who needs to hear that. Forgive, forgive. So let me tell y'all about my forgiveness journey that I did with my fiance, because part one was fire. Part one was good. I was able to laugh and joke about it because it's all behind me. I don't have no tension there with him. He's good. If I was to see him today, I'd zap him up. We'd be good. But that other one, that part two, I don't know. I don't know what I would do. So I still need to work on that. Okay. God isn't working on me, and I'm going to get there with the second guy, but the first guy, we're good. So let me tell you about him. It's actually kind of funny because maybe like a year, maybe 2 years ago, I was in my quiet time with God. He was like, yo, you need to call him and apologize. And I was just like, who said that? Well, my good Lord and Savior told me to apologize to this sir, the one that basically smashed another chick in front of me. You want me to call him and apologize? What you mean? I'm so confused. This can't be you. No, I'm not gonna do it. I was smooth and disobedient. So I was like, that first of all, it's not you. Enemy, get up out of here. There's no room for you because you're lying to me. God's like, no, it's me. You need to apologize to him. No, I'm not do I don't understand. There's no reason for me to apologize to this man. So here's the thing. You have to be careful when you ask God for something because he will give it to you and it will slap you in your face. So I'm like, God, if I need to apologize, you got to show me why I need to apologize to him because I'm not seeing it. So God pulled out the receipts and all it was longer than them CVS receipts. He was just like, oh, you want to talk about forgiveness? Like you don't need none. Okay, well, let's just run down your history. Were you faithful to do? I mean, I was emotional cheating a little bit. He was like, emotional cheating for real. Cheating is cheating. You're right. You're right. Cheating is cheating. There was just so many things that he brought to my remembrance, and I was like, dang, I gotta apologize to this man. So here's a couple examples. First of all, I kind of manipulated this dude into being in a relationship with me. Now, I talked about it a little bit in part one, but what I didn't get all the way into is him and I were friends for a while. Like, we would talk about everything. He would tell me about his childhood, and he would tell me about his dreams and his aspirations and what type of girls he likes and all these different things. So I took every little piece of information that he gave me and I became her. So whatever it was that you wasn't allowed to do when you was a child and all the things that discouraged you when you were younger, now I'm bringing that stuff up, but I'm encouraging you and I'm telling you you can do it, and I'm giving you everything that you didn't have when you were younger. So now you feel like you need me. That was manipulative. Why did I do that? And then so he kind of liked girls with like that sporty swag, and I was more of like a heels girl. I was always walking around prancing or whatever, and he would be going for the girls that had on kicks, but they were still sexy. So now here I am buying tennis shoes, and I didn't even know how to rock them for real. But I'm just trying to be that for him because that's what he said that he likes. And then let's just bring up the whole fact that I was dating the dude that he knew. And it's so crazy because, like, when you write stuff and when you're going through, there's so many different versions of yourself as you're healing. So I remember like, when I was writing the book, I'm like, oh, well, I mean, they kind of knew each other, but they weren't best friends or anything. So it's fine. Ma'am, you knew exactly what you were doing. So check this out. If you read the book, you know that there's a part where he was chirping in my ear and telling me all these different things. And I popped up at his house because I thought we was about to Okay. I thought we was about to do some things. So I go to his house and nothing happens. And I'm like, this is weird. This has never happened to me before. I don't understand what's going on and I don't like it. But like I said, we were friends. So after, I don't know, a couple of months or whatever, I brought it back up to him like, yo, you really played me to the left when I came over your house all those months ago. What was that about? And he was just like, you know what? Honestly, you was too easy. Huh? What you mean? I was too hot. Run it back. Say it again. He was like, no, you were too easy. He was just like, I talked to you for a couple of minutes at a party. I dropped the Addy and you just showed up. You didn't even play hard to get, you didn't even come over and just act like you wasn't gonna give me none. Like you came in and almost undressed. Like, you made it so easy I didn't even want it anymore. He told me, he was like, I like competition. I like to be the man. I like to be the hunter. Men like to hunt and chase, and you didn't provide any of that for me, so I wasn't really on it. So now I took that information and I date someone that you know, because I know that you're going to fight for me now because you can't lose, especially with him. You can't lose. You want to chase, you want to be the victor. That makes you happy. And I know that about you. So now I'm creating all of these different spaces to get you right where I want you to be. I brought all that to my remembrances. Like, you still don't think you need to apologize? Yeah, I was wrong for that. I was wrong. And then, like, apologizing is so embarrassing too, but it's so necessary because when I'm done with somebody, I'm done. Like, I erase their name and then I block their number. So when I'm strolling through my block list on a long, lonely night, I can't see who's who. I just see a bunch of numbers and I'm just like, oh, I don't remember who is who. So I can't really unblock somebody and call them because I don't know who is who. So when God told me to apologize, it was actually work. I had to get on social media, try to find somebody that we both knew, DM them and be like, yo, can you, ask dude if it's okay for you to slide me their number? Like, what kind of stuff is that? Because now I got some more people in business because they like, well, what you doing? You got like a long lost kid that you want to tell him about? Like, was you pregnant and then you disappeared? So now I got to call you and I ain't been around. And then now all of a sudden I pop up like, yo, can you give me such and such number? You want to know what's going on? Nosy. So I had to do all that. And then I got on the phone and I had to apologize. And I was nervous because I'm going to have to tell him all the raggedy stuff that I did. Not only did I manipulate you by dating somebody that I knew you knew so that I knew you would come back, not only did I, even when you went to college, like even when he went off to a different grad school, I was talking to somebody else. So not only was I cheating on you for real, and then when he came back and he broke up with me, y'all, I was acting like the saddest lovesick puppy ever in life. I was walking around the house. I was crying. I wasn't eating anything in front of him. I was like acting so sad when he broke up with me. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, I would go in the bathroom and I was eating like, I had this, it's so horrible. And it's really unsanitary too now that I think about it. I had like a stash of Oreos like taped up under the sink. I'm in there eating Oreos, but out there I'm acting like I can't eat, I can't sleep. You hurt my heart so bad, but I'm in the bathroom eating Oreos, texting my side dude, waiting for you to leave and go back to college so that I can start my life with this other young man. And then he ended up having another girl. So it's just like, joke's on you, ho. It's just, there's so much that I was doing. And I really tried to act like I couldn't apologize to this man. What's going on with me? Now, fast forward to the second dude. I have not talked to him. I did not reach out to anyone. God didn't tell me though. In my defense, God did not tell me to apologize to him. So I did not reach out. I tried to do like this chair method. I saw this chair method where you put a chair in front of you and you act like the person that you're angry with and that you need to forgive is sitting in front of you. And you have a conversation as if they're really there. Did that. I think I don't think it went as well as I thought it was supposed to go. Like I kind of threw the chair across the room. I broke a couple of things. I was fighting the air. A few choice words had came out. Yeah, there's just a lot of stuff. So I don't know why I was surprised when I did the video that there was still some unforgiveness there, because now that I think about it, that chair exercise didn't do too much for me. I still felt a little angry afterwards. I mean, I had got a lot of the rage out, but I think we're a little bit left. So I'm going to have to, God's going to still have to work with me on this, but it is imperative that I get all of that gunk, all of that unforgiveness out, because my man is coming this year. I don't know. I just can feel it. He's coming. He's on the way. And I'm not about to make him pay for what. And I don't even want to say what he did because I played a big part in it too. I played a huge part. A lot of times I'm learning this more because I keep running into people who don't like to take responsibility for their actions. So now I'm like super aware of myself and I'm just like, oh, you was wrong for that. Whereas before I was just kind of like, oh, he played me or he did this and he played in my face and he was acting all this and stuff. And it's like, now, no, you know what you were doing. The red flags were there and you act like you didn't see them. And then you got mad that they slapped you in your face. What kind of stuff is that? So things are getting better now because I'm taking more accountability for my actions. And with that being said, I'm not making my next pay for my ex. So we're going to cut that out. So thank you for sticking with me. I know that that was long enough. I just had to get that forgiveness piece out of the way because I was watching them old videos like, oh, you was tripping. You gotta reel that in because if anybody else is doing their healing journey with you, you don't want them to think that that is the way to handle it because it's not. Okay. So let's get into chapter 3. Is my trauma showing? So chapter 1, my fiance and I are, going through whatever. Chapter 2, life goes down the toilet and swirls around ever so slowly. And then chapter 3, I get the heck out of Dodge. So now I'm in Atlanta and I'm just chilling and I'm thinking everything is going to be new. But here's the thing about new spaces. They will act just like the old spaces if you don't change things up. So y'all remember when Ludacris said he had hoes in different area codes? Same, same, same. The first night I came to Atlanta, somebody was hitting my line like, yo, you made it yet? I'm about to come over. I don't understand how this happens to me. I do, because I was trash. I set it up. I did. I was about to lie to y'all. I smooth was about to lie to y'all like, oh, what was me? I don't understand how I keep getting in these predicaments. I do. I set them up. So there was this dude named Kourtney, and I had met him at a wedding. It was a while before I actually moved to Atlanta. And he was kind of in my ear and, talking to me and different things like that. But at that time, I was still in a relationship with Xavier. And I was just like, I'm not doing no more emotional cheating. I'm not trying to have no backup plans. I really want this to work. Dude was the love of my life. And I just knew that we were just going to be great. And it turned out that it was none of that stuff. But I was still delusional in my head thinking that all that stuff was going to happen. So I'm like, no, I can't really talk to you like that because my man is over here. So after my man turned out to like men, I decided that I would hit dude up and say, hey, I'm moving to your city. You gonna show me a good time? And he said he would. So he came over. And then here's the thing. I'm trying my hardest not to get intimate with him when I first meet him because I need to have a complete roster because in my mind, dudes disappoint you. So you can't just have one dude at one time. You got to have a whole bunch of them. So once somebody starts acting crazy, you can kind of swap them out. These are things that I have to unlearn and that I have been unlearning over the past few years because I want one man. I want my husband and I don't want anybody else. So, but that was a different mindset that I'm in now because before I'm like, the more, the merrier. Bring them all, date them all, and switch them out as needed. So when he first came over, he's all in my ear and talking to me and this and that the other. We're kissing on the couch and I'm just like, no, I gotta pull away because I can't really just be with him because I ain't got no backup plans yet. At that point in my life, I would not just date one person. I was not even interested in playing those type of games. I had to have so many different people and I would keep them around. That's the crazy thing about it. Even when they would act up, instead of just completely getting rid of them, I would just swap them around until they decided to act right. Now I get people up out of my rotation so quick. Like you blink wrong and I'm like, yeah, this ain't gonna work for me. Like, so let me give y'all an example. Last year, beginning of October, I met this dude at a football game and you know me, I'm in there for the stacks. Honestly, like I don't care who can win or not, who's playing. I don't really care. I'm just there for the food and for the entertainment, and that's why I'm there. So they got this jerk chicken spot in the stadium. So I'm over there getting my jerk chicken, my rice and peas, my cabbage, and I'm happy. So I come around the corner, scoop full, okay? And dude is just like, it's good, honey. I'm like, don't try to play me. I'm like, don't do that. You see my face is in the plate. Don't try to do that. Don't play me. And he was like, nah, I like to watch a woman eat. And I'm just like, oh, do you like to cook? So that's the thing. That's my love language. I can cook, but I don't like to. I feel like the amount of time that it takes to cook a meal versus the amount of time that it actually takes to eat the meal, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like if I want to make some jerk chicken and rice and peas right now, the rice and peas alone is going to take 2 hours, but it's only going to take me 15 minutes to eat it. Who has that type of time? And they don't even get me started on the dishes. These bums, dishes be in here just living it up like they pay rent. Y'all are unwelcome guests. Why are y'all always here? My bad for going off on a tangent. I just feel like dishes be all in the way. So anyway, he's in my face. He's chopping it up. And he was like, yeah, I can cook all that. Da, 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 da. So I'm like, oh, you found the way to my heart. Make me some food. and don't make me do the dishes afterwards. So I'm happy, right? So we're talking and he's telling me all these different things. So we exchange numbers. But I just really wasn't feeling him like that for real. I was just like, ma'am, you were just hungry. Have you ever done that? Like, it's kind of like you go to the grocery store, you buy the whole left side of the grocery store, and then you get home, you be like, I don't even like half of this stuff. You went while you were hungry. And that's what it was. I was hungry. He was saying he was going to give me some food, but there was just something about him. I was just like, yeah, this is not going to work. So this was the beginning of October. I didn't hit him back for real until the end of October because I kind of got anxious. It was the week before election and I'm like, oh, I'm feeling a little anxiety. I need a little distraction to kind of take my mind off where the world could possibly go with these candidates. And so real quick, let me just stop on the lessons. Avoid attractions to distractions because it's going to mess you up every time. Let me read the little blurb real quick. So it says, the longer we focus on distractions, the longer it will take us to accomplish our goals. If our goal is to marry a man that will adore and provide for us, why do we clutter our atmosphere with bums who can barely pay us attention, let alone pay for a date? Stay focused. I wasn't focused. I was not focused at all. I was nervous about the election and about the state of the world. And I'm just like, I just need somebody to talk to. I just needed somebody to take the edge off. Okay. No, well, not like that. Let me clarify what I'm saying, because if y'all read the book, if I say take the edge off, y'all might think I'm doing something else. I haven't done that in a while. I am abstaining until marriage. It will be 7 years in December. And that's the year of completion. 7 is the number of completion. I'm done. Husband is on the way because what we not gonna do is keep doing this. We're not. But anyway, like I was saying, I'm talking to dude, taking the edge off in a godly way, just talking to him on the phone. And I knew I wasn't feeling it. Like there was a reason why you've been talking to yourself in my text messages since the beginning of October. You are not for me. But that's the thing, when you allow yourself to get distracted or when you allow different circumstances to make you do certain things or to make you a little bit more vulnerable or acceptable to certain things, it goes wrong every single time. So he's on my phone and I'm pretending to laugh at the jokes that are not funny. I'm acting like I'm interested in stuff. He's just talking. He's never asking me anything about me, which is not gonna work. And I'm just like, I don't like this dude. But I am anxious and I'm nervous about what's going on. I just need somebody to talk to. And it wasn't for me. By the beginning of November, like right after the election, I let him go because I was just like, this ain't gonna work. So first of all, like I said, he kept talking about himself. Secondly, he would try to lie and how can I say? He was a yes man. So he would talk about how he felt about certain things, but then if I would interject and I would say, oh, well, I don't necessarily feel like that, he would switch up his whole flow. One day we were talking about his twin brother. He's just, oh, I love my twin brother so much. And he's from a different country. I'm not going to disclose where, but he's from a different country. He's just like, oh, I wish my brother was here, blah, 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 blah. This, and that, and the other. And I'm like, oh, okay. Do you want children? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, how many do you want? He's like, I want 2. And I was like, okay, why 2? Well, I just don't feel like you should be the only child. And I had so much fun with my brother. There's always somebody there to have your back. Like, I just want my kids to have the same thing. Great. Okay. Well, wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and head out. And I hope that you find someone that's willing to give you 2 kids. And I'm going about my day. So here's the thing about me. I'm not really the best at closure. I thought that by me saying you find somebody that you want to give you 2 kids, I thought that was good. I thought that I was saying like, I'm no longer interested. You should probably stop calling me. But apparently I didn't say that. It didn't come across that way. He's like, what you talking about? I'm like, well, I don't want kids. And he was like, well, what you mean? I was like, I'm just kind of at the point in my life in the age where if I were to get pregnant, they would consider it a geriatric pregnancy. You're not about to call me geriatric nothing. I'm not doing it. Also, I can deal with older kids. So if my man already has kids, that's fine. I'll be a great bonus mom. But me actually having kids, barefoot and pregnant, I don't want that. That's not what I want. And that seems like what you want. And you not only want it once, you want it twice. No, we are not compatible. So he switched up his whole thing. I didn't say I want kids. So now I'm stupid. You didn't just sit here and talk to me this whole time about wanting kids. Now I made that up. Okay. He's like, no, I said it might be nice to have kids, but I can adopt. I can be a big brother at the YMCA. Like, I'm not pressed about children. That was the first step that I was just like, Yeah, this ain't gonna work. You ain't got no backbone, my boy. You can't lead me. I got a big back. If you ain't even got no backbone, how it gonna work? You can't lead me or carry me nowhere, sir. This ain't gonna work. So as we're continuing talking, he's getting on my nerves, and I'm like, he's very not very like overly sexual, but he's trying me to see like how far he can get with certain things regarding sex. One day it was about 8:30 and I'm like, yo, I'm about to go to bed. I know, but I'm a grandma. Around 8:30, my hair is already wrapped and I'm about to brush my teeth and get into bed. He was just like, oh, I bet you got some sexy pajamas on. I can't wait till I can see them. Why would you see my pajamas? He was just like, oh man, just describe them to me. Like, I'm like, sir, I got on a Holy Juneteenth shirt. Please exit my phone expeditiously. Get out of my face. I'm not doing this with you. But he's still, still calling, still trying. So then the next day or some other day, he's talking to me about this movie that he watched. And I guess there's some couples. I don't know if they were swingers or what, but somehow they had like swapped wives or whatever. And they're like entertaining each other and messing with each other and doing some stuff. And he was just like, it was just so crazy. Da, 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 da. And they're like over here smashing. And then this one was smashing that one. And it was just so much. He was like, we should watch this movie together. I was like, so in your country, how many wives are you guys allowed to have? And he was like, what? I'm like, so no, just tell me, like, do y'all have multiple wives over there? And he was like, no, one wife. And I'm like, okay, next question. Do you need a green card? And he was like, what? I don't feel like you really like me. I really don't. I told you I don't want kids. You're switching it up, even though you were very adamant about wanting two children. Now you're telling me about this movie that I absolutely care nothing about. Why would I want to watch two married couples have sex with people who are not their husband? And why would I want to watch that with you? You need a green card, don't you? You will say any and anything to try to get me to be with you just because you need to be over here legally. Are you good? Are you illegal? Lay low, bro. You can't lay low with me, but lay low. It was so much. So even with all of that stuff, some people might be like, oh, that's minor. Da, da, da. No, it was major to me. But the big thing was we had been talking for over a week and he hadn't said anything about his relationship with God. Nothing. And I'm, asking certain questions like, so what's your morning routine like? Because I'm expecting him to say, maybe he does like a prayer or like a daily devotional or something like that. He's talking about hygiene, like, oh yeah, I brush my teeth, go to work. Okay. Well, what about your night routine? I'm thinking maybe you read a couple of scriptures or you do a Bible study or something. Cause mind you, I done been to Bible study twice. I done went to church and I'm not even trying to say it like, oh, I'm this, I'm that. I'm just trying to learn. Have you read it? My life was raggedy. I'm trying to get on the straight and narrow. So I'm trying to figure out my own relationship with God, but I'm not hearing you say nothing about it. Like I done been to Bible study. I done been to church, talking about certain stuff. You ain't never chiming in. You just like, oh, that's what's up. But you're never contributing to the conversation. So I'm like, bruh, it's been a week. You ain't saying nothing about God at all. My man made the whole world in 6 days. You telling me you had 7 and you ain't got nothing to say about it? Nothing? So I'm just like, yeah, this is not going to work. So again, I don't know how to do closure. So I'm just like, hey, today's going to be the last day that we talk to each other. He's like, what? I'm like, I'm not interested in you. I don't think that you're really interested in me. And I just really don't want to pretend anymore. He was like, well, why are you not interested? What are you talking about? Like, you haven't even given me a chance. You haven't even let me take you on a date. Like, you might be interested if you let me take you out. I'm like, but I don't we even need to get to go there. The conversation is not doing what I needed to do. So then he called me a hypocrite because I was just like, I just feel like at this point in my life, with my journey and my walk with God, you're not going to be able to lead me properly. Oh, so you're a hypocrite just because I don't go to church. I haven't found a church I like. I like God. I believe in God. I was in the choir when I was 5 years old. He's just going to have to think whatever he thinks about me. I couldn't. I wasn't even trying to be rude. And the crazy thing about it is like, I was so proud of myself as well because normally when you like somebody, they can say almost anything and you'll be like, tell me more. Like your feet be kicking in the back. You just be like, for real? Like you hyping them up and everything. But when you don't like somebody, you got to get them out of your rotation so quick. Jesus. So back to the story. I don't know why I went on that long tangent. So I had to get my roster up before I could fully entertain him. But I'm like, liked him though. He was nice. He was very attentive. I did like the fact that he was attentive. He was always checking on me, and I could tell he had been through some stuff too. So I felt like you just kind of got out of a relationship. You might be a little vulnerable like me. We're about to ruin each other's lives. We're going to be so dependent on one another because we're just trying to fill in that void right now. I need to stay as far away from you as I can. So I had talked to my homegirl and I was like, yo, we need to get outside because I need to get these voids. And she was like, okay, well, my friend Bryce lives right up the street. Let's go get him. And we're going to go over to such and such house where she lives by some bars. We're going to go have a good time. We're going to kick it. I'm like, cool. So we get to Bryce's house, and I'll say this man was beautiful. He was beautiful, and I never called a man beautiful, but ooh, when I tell you he was gorgeous, he looked so good, and he smells good too. That's one thing. If you smell good, oh, y'all remember them cartoons where the cologne would be like doing this? That's what I felt, and I was right with it, like, let me smell it. Let me smell it. Like, what is happening? Why do you smell so good, sir? And he just kept smiling at me and talking to me. And at some point, well, first of all, he was walking around with his shirt off, and I was just looking at it like, I want to draw my name on all of this, but I was just like, no, we're chilling. My homegirl in the front. I got to stay focused. So he went to the back like, yo, help me get dressed. And I'm like, I'm trying to get you undressed, young sir. What do you mean help you get dressed? What do you mean? I don't get it. No, don't put my hand there. Do it again. Like, I am in the back going crazy. So he pulls out all these shirts and I'm sitting on the bed. He like cuddles up next to me and he's right here in this area talking stuff and he's running his hand up my thigh and I'm letting him because I was not who I am today. So I'm letting him do all these different things. And then my mom sends me a text message, like a scripture or something. And I'm just like, how did you know? How did you know that I was in here about to be trash with this young fella? How did you know? Why would you send me this right now? I can't focus on what I wanted to focus on now because now I feel convicted. Why would you do that to me? And she does that often. Like, Holy Spirit tells on me all the time to her, like, yo, your daughter out here wilding. And I'm like, ah. So I get this message. Once again, he's right here. And I'm like, hey, we gotta go. He's like, what? I'm like, nah, we gotta get dressed. We gotta go. I'll meet you out in the front. So goes to the front. We're in the car. He's chopping it up with me in the car, talking all these different things, and I'm feeling special. Then we get to the girl's house. We're pre-gaming, we're drinking, we're having like a little snacks or whatever. We're talking, listening to some music. And now he's not in my face no more. He's in this one's face. He's in that one's face. And then when we actually get to the bar, he disappears. I did not see him for the whole night because he's over here, he's over there, he's doing all this stuff. Now, mind you, I'm not tripping because there was this other guy that worked at IT and he kind of took his place because now he's right here in my face and then he's behind me and we're dancing and we're just doing all these different things. So I was like, I don't really care about what you over there doing because I got something else over here. And then that night, there was other guy looking at me too. So I'm trying to like give him the eye on the low and try to figure out how I'm gonna get his contact information. But I still got this dude over here. And then there's the other one that's running around. I don't understand how I kept up with all the paperwork. Like seriously, keeping a roster is hard work. Now that I think about it, I would never do that right now. I can't even remember what I ate yesterday. Why would I? Yeah, that was bad. I was doing the absolute most. I do not desire to do that again. But anyway, that was crazy. So this night, I'm talking to the IT guy. He's in my face. He's just like, yep, let's go to Waffle House and then go back to the crib. And I'm like, we go back to the crib. We go back to this crib. It's not gonna. No. Stay strong. Stay strong, okay? So I'm trying to stay strong. I'm like, no, let's just go back to the house with everybody else. So we go to the house and everybody leaves and I exchange numbers with the IT guy. He's like, I'm gonna hit you up, this, and that, the other. So I'm happy. And Mr. Rice comes back around after he's been, kind of like hopping from every flower that night. Now you want to come back because we're way too drunk to drive. So we decided we're going to stay the night at the girl's house. So my roommate, she goes and she sleeps in the bed with her friend. So now it's just me and Bryce sitting there like, what are we about to do? What's about to happen? There's one couch. There's one blanket. There's two people who are very attracted to each other, but don't need to be. So now he's here again, and I'm like, boy, I'm trying to go to sleep. It's way past my bedtime. I told you I go to bed at 8:30. Mind you, it's like probably 3 in the morning, 3, maybe 4. Sir, I can do nothing with you right now. Get off me. And he's like, nah, come here. They don't want to. So now he's trying to convince me to do some things with him. So he unzips his pants and he's doing, some certain things and trying to get me involved. And I just really wasn't feeling it. So now he got an attitude. He's huffing and puffing, and the next day he just don't talk to me. And I'm just like, bro, I don't care. I don't care. I got one dude over here waiting for me. I got another dude that I just met last night, and I got two of the possible over here because I didn't get this young man's name, but I do see that he knows her. So I'm gonna hit her up and be like, yo, what's up with your friend? Like, I almost got 3 people on the roster. Only need a couple of more. So he has an attitude. He's not talking to me. And then he ends up down the road talking to one of my friends and did her dirty. So kind of glad that I dodged that bullet. Tell me where you are in your healing journey, and maybe we can do this together because I really thought that I was further along than I am. And then I looked back at some of the videos and was just like, oh, yes, ma'am, you're tripping. You're not there yet. So please give me some feedback. I want to hear from y'all. I want to know where you're at in your journey, and let's get through this together. All right. I'll see you next time. Bye.